DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Another opening day, PK. It's like a passage of time. Marking the days, the months, the years as they go spinning by. Mm-hmm. Jay Drew has been to many of these.
Oh, this is his 47th year covering BYU.
And he's doing it again. Jay Drew, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
What are you most looking forward to hearing and talking about? What's at the top of your to-do list?
Oh, boy. Unlike most years, there's just not anything that really stands out or is a main storyline, or like last year, obviously, with the quarterback situation. And the year before, probably the same thing. This year, there's really nothing that really kind of jumps out. I guess the biggest thing would be the new coaches. Kelly Papinga is the new defensive coordinator. They brought in Lewis Walker and DeMario Warren to coach the secondary. So I would guess that would be probably the biggest question mark. How are they going to replace Jay Hill and all that he brought to the program, and Gennaro Guilford? So that would probably be, I guess, the biggest thing. I know that's not juicy, and that's nothing to do really with the actual players themselves, but that's the thing that I guess stands out the most for me.
I've been reading the stuff in the Deseret News as they profile each of the teams. And so BYU's going into this season with high expectations. For a lot of folks, it's get to the conference title game, get to the playoff, and go from there. And it's probably a worthy goal at this point. How do you think BYU stacks up relative to the competition and the main competitors in the Big 12?
Yeah, I think there's, even with Texas Tech's quarterback situation, I still think they're the most talented team, the best team with the best, off-season acquisitions out of the transfer portal and the best returning players coming back. So I think Texas Tech is probably still a cut above everybody. I would group BYU, Utah, Arizona in kind of a little second tier. I'm probably leaving out one other team that
K-State maybe, TCU.
Oh, yeah, or Houston, I think. Houston. A lot of people are talking about Houston. So, but, I think BYU's right there. I was really impressed last year with how Utah finished and with the bowl game, and I know they got a new coach, but I really like Utah's quarterback situation. I think Utah's got the better quarterback situation than any team in the conference. Including BYU and including Texas Tech, with basically two guys that are, you can rely on. So, but anyway, I would put those teams right there. And as you look at the season, I think the one thing you really got to consider is Texas Tech has a pretty easy schedule as far as their conference games. They don't have to play BYU or Utah. Most of their tough games are at home. So I think you got to really consider that, and then looking at BYU, there's some definite landmines out there for BYU that I don't know if fans are really paying attention to. For instance, BYU, after they play Notre Dame, has to go to UCF, and UCF has a bye the week that BYU is playing Notre Dame. That's got to be a tough one. BYU has to go to TCU, where they've never really – I think they've won one game there in 20 years. And so that's another thing you got to consider is not only who are the best teams, but who have the most favorable schedules.
PK was at that TCU win. He remembers it well. He's got stories.
Oh, I was Jay Drew before Jay Drew.
See?
Yeah. And don't forget Rhiannon Potke.
How can I forget Rhiannon Potke? It's at the tip of my tongue at all times.
Absolutely.
You've written a lot leading up here to the opening, and people can go into the Deseret News, go to Deseret.com and read it. One headline will catch everybody's eye. Is it college football playoff or bust for BYU football in 2026? Given how good they've been the last 2 years, as you cite in the story, 23-4, and given the fact that Kalani had serious interest from Penn State and people thought they were going, and BYU ponied up even more resources to make football better, does the answer to that question have to be yes?
I don't necessarily think so. That's a tough one. I mean, a lot of crazy things could happen. I would say if Bear Bachmeier plays every game, if he's healthy, then I think there's no excuses. They've set up for this. They were on the track for this. But, things can happen where you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. Ironically, I wrote almost that exact same headline before the basketball season. I said, is it Final Four or bust for BYU basketball? And everybody knows how that turned out. So it was bust, basically. And so with football, obviously with basketball, the reason I bring that up is that, they had the injuries to Richie Saunders at the end of the year, kind of derailed that. So I think you have to leave that kind of window open if something unforeseen happens, and especially at BYU, and we'll probably get into this in a minute, but beyond Bear Bachmeier, I think if there's, speaking of another big question for BYU, it's a backup quarterback. They're just not really anybody outside of Bachmeier who has played that much in a college football game, and so that's another huge thing to consider. And I'm sure as they work with Bear throughout the season, they'll obviously a big emphasis will be on sliding, running out of bounds, just avoiding injury at all costs.
Outside of injury, what do you think would keep potentially BYU out of the conference title game? Meaning, what are their weaknesses?
Yeah, I'm still not sold on the receiver position. I know every time you talk to Aaron Roderick or Fesi Sitake or Kalani, they think they're okay at receiver. I don't. I'm not sold yet on the Kyler Casper they brought in from Oregon, mostly because he didn't play that much at Oregon. I'm not sold yet on JoJo Phillips. They've talked about potential every year with him, and he just never seems to break out. I know last year he was injured. He had the broken collarbone, so that set him back. But I think it's just a huge loss that, obviously Chase Roberts ran out of eligibility. Parker Kingston, that situation's been well documented. Cody Hagan retired medically from football. I just don't see BYU having a go-to receiver and or a guy that can take the top off of defenses consistently, a speedster, a burner. JoJo Phillips might be that guy, but he just hasn't proven it yet. Tiger Bachmeier might be that guy, but he didn't have a great year last year. So that would be the number one question is just do they have a playmaker outside of L.J. Martin on that offense?
How about that freshman from Lehigh?
Yeah, I've heard a lot about him, Legend Glasker, cousin of linebacker Isaiah Glasker. He had a great spring. We didn't get to see a lot of it. We'll have to take their word for it for a lot of that. But yeah, he's a good one. But I mean, he's a true freshman. Very rarely do you see a true freshman step in at receiver. I mean, I know Austin Collie way back in your day, Patrick, was a great receiver as a freshman right out of the gates. But yeah, I just can't think of any others that have been that great right out of the gate for BYU.
Do you believe special teams, if they're in close games, if special teams, especially place kicking, but all of them, we've seen teams lose games on punt returns and block punts. Are they going to be good or are they going to be great?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be great, and they're going to replace Will Farron and Sam Vanderhaar, their kicker and punter, with guys that are just unproven and untested. So I mean, the jury's still out on that, and that'll be a big point of emphasis here in camp is to give those guys a lot of work, a lot of game experience and game situations. And speaking of Parker Kingston, they're really going to miss him. He was a great punt returner. He returned 2 or 3 punts for touchdowns for BYU in his career. He was also a little bit of a wild card back there. He did have a few drops and made some questionable decisions, but that's another area, kick returner and punt returner, where they really don't have a proven guy doing that. So special teams is a huge question mark. You got Justin Anna coming in as to replace Kelly Papinga as the special teams coordinator. Papinga was really good at that. I think he's probably underrated as a special teams coordinator. And I'm not saying that there'll be a big drop-off, and Justin Anna has done it before at other places such as Utah State. But you're right, David. That's a big question mark is special teams.
I think part of the deal of a coordinator is getting the kids to believe in what you say is gospel. And I've seen that. I've seen it on both ends where they didn't believe anything you said, and they did believe what you said. And Jay Hill was one in which they definitely believed in what he said. What do you think the acclimation period is going to be for Kelly Papinga now running the defense? Because, and I know he's got assistants there and special assistants, whatever you call them. But in the moment, it's going to come down to what he's thinking there and then how much the kids believe in it and be able to execute it.
Yeah, that's a good point you bring up. I think the fact that they were able to retain a lot of those defensive guys, and they even kept some of those guys away from Michigan, like a Faletau Satuala, the kid from Bountiful. Others had opportunities to go elsewhere. And I think it was really telling that they did stay when Kelly Papinga was made defensive coordinator. To me, and, I'm not in the meetings. I'm not obviously there at a lot of the practices and all that. But to me, that was a pretty good sign that these guys are on board with Kelly. From everything we've heard in at the golf outing the last couple of days and throughout the off season is these guys really like Lewis Walker, the cornerbacks coach that they brought in basically to replace Gennaro Guilford. It seems to me every player I've talked to really, really likes him. DeMario Warren is kind of Kelly Papinga's guy, a guy that Kelly really wanted to bring in. He worked with him at Boise State. Of course, DeMario was the former Southern Utah coach. So I think the players really like this defensive coaching staff, and I think that means a lot.
Jay Drew joining us, BYU kicking off camp today. Do you see the investment that they put in the team directly? Is it obvious? Sometimes when they invest in programs, it's really obvious and you can see it. You see it happen and you see the energy they get from it. Other times it's more behind the scenes. Can you put your finger on what's happened? Because that was such a big offseason with Kalani Stain and the offer from Penn State in the match. Can you see how that's already moving the program forward, or is that one of those things that maybe you don't see until you see the results down the line?
Yeah, I can't really point to anything outward and say, yeah, that's a definite, sign right there. I guess, maybe a cynic would say, well, why weren't they able to keep Jay Hill? Why weren't they able to put up more money to keep him from Michigan? But from everything I've heard, and maybe you guys have heard the same thing or maybe not, that Jay was pretty much going to go to Michigan. The money wasn't a factor for him. When Kyle got that job, it was kind of always Jay Hill's dream, maybe to work with Kyle again and to go to a big-time blue blood program. So, maybe no amount of money would have – that's what I've heard anyway, that no amount of money would have kept him in Provo. But as far as other outward, like, signals or signs or anything, I can't sit here and say that I've seen anything yet. I mean, obviously, we'll probably know more over the course of the next month or two. But, yeah, I can't really point to anything and say, oh, yeah, that's where kind of an influx of money or resources has taken place.
The BYU golf tournament for the media was last week. I don't know where you finished, Jay, in your group, but the only thing I know is you didn't finish first.
Did you read my article? I'm just wondering because I haven't heard from you. I literally put your name in my article as the team that won.
I got it up on the wall at home. I sent it to all my family.
Oh, I just thought, the minute that thing hits the interwebs, I'll be hearing from PK. But no, no, we were not good. We were Not we were below middle of the pack, but not rock bottom. Let's put it that way.
You weren't bombing them like you usually do?
No, I'm too old for that. No, we. I'll say this: we stuck to media members for our team, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Oh, accusations of a ringer? Is that what I'm hearing? A little passive aggressive?
Oh, wait. You're complaining now that you got beat by a girl?
Absolutely. And then, the Mitch Harper, I'm interviewing, I'm asking him, hey, who was on your team? And he's like, telling me guys I've never heard of. And I'm like, who's that? And he goes, oh, that's my brother-in-law. I'm like, good grief. How did they let that team sneak on there?
Well, we had two media guys who bailed on me, so what the heck?
Yeah, no, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm congratulations.
I mean, if you're going to point fingers, you might as well give Jackie top billing. I'm reading it right now. You gave PK top billing. Jackie was second, but PK is painted as the star.
I can't wait till it cools down. I'm going to just revel in that blanket from Minky Couture.
Was it a BYU blanket? I didn't get a good look at it.
I don't know.
Oh, you haven't opened it yet? Okay.
Actually, it is opened, and it's on a spare bed right now. I saw it, but it's folded, so I haven't looked at it. I heard it was supposed to be, but I don't know. And I'll wear it with pride. I'll use it with pride. Absolutely. I'm not like you. I don't hate BYU.
Oh, we had to go there, didn't we? Oh, starting out the season just right, just perfect.
Hey, it's just the fact that you protect BYU. We need to know who got the golf cart stuck. You wouldn't name names, Jay. This is this is you protecting BYU. So you've got that going for you. You can be hated for protecting BYU and hating BYU at the same time. Join the club.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to throw one kid under the bus. So,
Did you know that Jay Drew had the unique experience of playing the same golf course without leaving on two separate days?
yeah, absolutely. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, and I was in Alaska during the summer solstice in June 21st, I think it was, and teed off at one day and finished the next because it's there's only 4 hours of darkness up there or the summer solstice. So, yeah,
Man.
That was kind of a fun little thing to do.
The phrase "I'd like a late tea time" carries new meaning, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's absolutely. And a funny thing about that, when I went to tee off, they said, or when I signed in, they said you'll need bear spray, because there's so many bears. This was in Anchorage, Alaska, and everybody has to take or buy bear spray. And then the guy said, if you hit the ball into the woods, just don't go get it for two reasons. One, bears, obviously, and two, poison oak.
That, you've convinced me.
So, guys, I lost 9 golf balls on that 18 holes. 9 golf balls because I took them dead serious, man. I wasn't taking one step into those woods.
You remember that one time we were up at Wasatch Mountain and you were looking for a ball by the woods and a deer jumped out and it just scared the crap out of you?
Yep. I'm afraid of my own shadow.
And I'm over there laughing like crazy.
Oh, man. Can't take you anywhere, PK. It'll come back to haunt me.
All right, Jay, I think we've done enough damage here. PK's work is done. We will let you go. Go enjoy day 1 of yet another college football camp.
Yep, my 19th for covering BYU, so It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah. Now, how many years did you cover the high schools for? Because it seems like you're way past it now.
About 14, yeah.
Okay.
I think I was around 14 years I did high school, so, yep, been around a long time.
Jay, we appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. Good luck. Enjoy the day.
Okay, guys. Thanks for having me on.
There's Jay Drew. You can read him, Deseret.com. Check out their sports page archive. He's got a lot of stories up there, and he covers the golf tournament in excruciating detail. The interesting stuff in that story was that the when you're new to the Cougar program and you've been other places in college football, it kind of blows your mind that this is happening.
Why?
Not every coach wants to go out and have a golf tournament and hang out with the media.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
and it's just like, why? Well, it's just like, well, this is how Kalani's wired. This is who he is, and this is what he wants to do. And these are the kind of relationships and bridges he wants to build. So it's different.
Yes, I think BYU has done a really good job as far as that and accommodating the media.
Yeah. All right, DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Everything you missed in this show. Next, stay with us.
Turn it up. Let's go.
It's a new era for sports radio in Utah. This is the all-new KSL Sports Zone. As always, DJ and PK kick off your mornings from 6 to 10. Then introducing the newest addition to the KSL Sports Zone. The coach, Tim Lacombe, joins Scotty G every day from 10 to 2. And as you wrap up your day, Jake Scott and Ben Anderson are there with the best sports talk in Utah from 2 to 6. Live and local, all day, every day. Your home for the best sports radio in Utah is live, on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
When she said I don't dance now, I make money moves, that was a mission statement for a whole new generation.
Respect, but that's not the Mount Rushmore. Listen, cash rules everything around me. When that line dropped, it changed the whole hustle. The greatest tracks are never finished. They're just debated forever. Introducing the Sprite Living Tracklist. 50 tracks that shape the culture from 6 decades of hip-hop. Scan the QR code on a Sprite or Sprite Zero Sugar to see the full breakdown. Obey your thirst. Sprite.
Hear that? That's now Crispy and McCrispy Strips meeting Creamy Caesar Sauce. Sounds extra crispy. Caesar Sauce at McDonald's for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Slacker Reddit headlines brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan Wealth today, your local trusted financial fiduciary. Call them at 1-855-TRAJAN1 or visit their website at TrajanWealth.com. All right, stories of the day. BYU ranked 15th in the USA Today Coaches Preseason Poll. The Utes are 21. Good enough, PK. Launching pad. Obviously, they have to go out and win, and a lot of that stuff doesn't matter if you win the conference title because then you have an automatic bid to the playoffs. But you'd like to have a second path to the playoffs. They're not in the top 10. I guess that's where you really want to be, but they're also not that far away if they take care of business.
Yeah, I think what they need, obviously they got to take care of business, as you say, and then take care of business against the team that took care of business.
Texas Tech.
Well, all of them.
Take them down.
I mean, BYU beats Utah. Utah beats BYU. Mm-hmm. I know that it's foreign concepts to each other, but particularly for the Ute fan to want BYU to beat Notre Dame. I mean, I get that. It's hard for you to do. But if they rolled into that game November 7th undefeated, and the Utes, I think, it probably have a better chance to be undefeated than BYU does because the schedule for BYU is a little tougher, that then you beat a team that, what would they be, 8-0, 7-0, whatever it is at that time, then you really take a leap. And so that's what – I think that's what the Big 12 is working against. I mean, it doesn't seem like the other two conferences, excluding the ACC, really needs to worry about that. Just worry about yourself.
They get credit for beating conference teams. Yeah. And in the Big 12 and the ACC, you don't automatically get credit for beating conference teams.
Right. And so we need, as a Big 12 membership, to have some top teams there, and then whoever wins, and that elevates you. And so then if you have a slip up, that you're covered. I mean, clearly 2 years ago, the Cougars get off to the great start, phenomenal win against BYU, Utah, controversial with the AD and the coach and everything. That drew attention to the conference, which I don't think it was necessarily a bad way. I know Mark Harlan, took abuse and all that, and that was, I'd never seen that, but that drew attention to the conference. And so actually that was good in a sense, that because, wow, that must have been something. What a heated game, right? You don't see that. And then having that next loss to Kansas, I think that's what kept them out of not receiving an at-large bid. It wasn't the bizarre finish when Dillingham had a brain fart against the Sun Devils.
was weird.
That didn't keep him out. No. It was the prior game that kept him out.
I think the point about big non-conference games, and BYU has the biggest non-conference game in the league, but it doesn't matter. They've got to win their non-conference games. They've got multiple teams who could be good and maybe could help the Big 12's image, but they're not playing anybody in the non-conference. Texas Tech is at the top of that list. Houston, Arizona. There's really no chance for them to get non-conference wins. I mean, they just have to go 3-0 and they have to beat the teams in front of them, but there's nothing.
Are you talking about just in general when you say they?
I think Utah and BYU fans across the board need Big 12 teams to clean up a non-conference because this is the league.
Notre Dame and Texas A&M.
Yes, ASU's playing Texas A&M, and they will obviously be massive underdogs in that game, but find a way.
All conference opponents should be rooting for the Devils.
100%.
And BYU's got the Devils coming in. That's where you want them.
Right.
You'd love for them to come in. They go to Kansas, or not go, but they go to overseas to England. That just draws attention. Yeah. So if the Devils were to start 4-0, that would be great for the conference, and it'd be great for BYU because then you have that opportunity. And if you should lose a close game to them, that wouldn't be the end of the world. Whereas if you lose a game to the Devils and they're 2-4, that's going to sink you.
There are 3 groups of teams. There are a couple of teams, like you point out, that are playing high-profile non-conference games, and they need those wins. There's another group of teams that are playing low-profile Power 4 teams, and you can't afford to lose those. The Utes have to beat Arkansas. Colorado needs to beat Georgia Tech and Northwestern. Not that that's super sexy. TCU needs to beat North Carolina. I mean, it seems like North Carolina's going sideways at best, and it seems like a mess. If they break out, have a win over them. If they go 4-8, well, don't be one of the 4. So you got some to take care of business, and then you have some who are just playing. They're just not playing Power 4 teams. They're playing G5 teams, and I guess they better go 3-0, but nobody's going to notice or care. And then people will probably talk bad about them. There's always the Iowa State game. I don't know that Iowa State's prepped to win that with a coaching change and a lot of new players, and it's game 2.
Well, they're a big mystery.
Right. But again, root for the Big 12.
Yeah.
You gotta pull it off. You gotta find a way.
Until this thing expands to 24, you need the conference to do well.
Yeah, because it's a one-bid league. It's when the Utes were in the Pac-12 and it was a Power 5, we always talked about, well, there's a league that can't get their team in. Now it's a bigger tournament. There's 4 leagues instead of 5, and it's 12 teams getting in instead of 4. So now you don't want that scarlet letter. Well, you're just a one-bid league. Which is what the Big 12 is.
2 for
right?
2.
So it's back to you got to find a way to do this.
And the problem is when they got to the conference title game, both have been blowouts.
Yeah, not super intriguing and interesting there, huh?
Now, if you're Texas Tech or the Sun Devils, you loved it because you got in.
Yeah.
But it's not good for the conference to have a blowout in that game.
Another game that it's going to be a massive underdog, probably even a bigger underdog than ASU against Texas A&M. Oklahoma State, Game 2 is playing Oregon at home.
And that thing was a disgrace last year.
Good luck with that,
Well, I'll be pulling hard for Oregon State, or Oklahoma State.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how they pull that off. I have no expectations, but I hope they pull that off.
Man, we'll see.
And there's a lot of games against middling ACC teams, and you better not lose them. Go out there and win, UCF. I mean, take down Pitt. I don't know what you get for it, but take them down anyway. West Virginia's playing Virginia, so
well,
another
a lot
chance
of those
to be an
games
ACC team.
that you don't get necessarily anything for losing or winning, but you get crushed for losing.
You do. Absolutely get crushed for losing. Colorado's playing Georgia Tech, and TCU's playing North Carolina. So what is that, like 4? That's at least 4 games against the ACC. There's another one. Baylor's playing Auburn. There's a couple of SEC games in there. Baylor, Auburn, and Utah, Arkansas, a couple of SEC games.
The Big 12 has to prove it. They got to knock down the doors. It's like what they would say in the old boxing match. You got to knock out the incumbent. And that's what they have to do.
Beat the champ to be the champ.
To get that set. But they aren't the champs.
Yeah.
But you still, that's what they're up against. Clearly they're up against.
You got to beat the contender to be a contender.
And your mark needs to start whining about it November 1st.
singing praises for the wins they get and complaining. I don't know how much you complain about the top 25. They got 4 teams in. You think Arizona should have been in, or TCU?
Oh, that's fine for now. But I'm talking about when it gets down to the cutting time.
Yeah.
I don't think he whined enough about BYU last year or whoever it might be. He said stuff, but I want over the top.
But even if it doesn't pan out, does it set the stage for the next year? Just keep beating the drum.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think he needs to whine. These other guys we constantly have a tape measure contest between the SEC and the Big Ten.
So Big 12.
I'm sick of those guys, and they're doing it all the time.
Sankey and Petiti are really going out.
Yeah, they're constantly, no, we're bigger, blah, blah, blah. Well, your Mark needs to start whining when we get into November if he's got a legitimate claim. And it's unbecoming and you don't want to do it, but you have to.
And that's what the money's for.
It's like working the referees. The coaches have to work the referees whether they want to or not. You have to do it.
You're the commissioner. That's what the money's for. A little unbecoming, but we need it done. So here's some cash.
The guy weighs 161 pounds every day.
He knows it. He weighs himself every day.
He told me.
Yeah. If you'll talk about your weight like that, we'll go out and homer for the Big 12, will you?
Well, I was going to take him out back. I got you by 25. I'll drop you right now.
Other news, Dodgers, loaded. Scooble, actually pretty good. 2 runs, 4 hits, 6 innings. You'd take that. But they got beat by the Cubs 5-1. He gave up 2 runs, and they only scored 1.
Yeah,
so
wow. I watched that game, man. It was electric.
You could feel it, huh?
Yes. Yep.
Right through the screen. Reach out and grab you.
Yeah.
They're on MLB Network today, Wrigley Field, 12:20.
It is a day game, yeah.
Day baseball. Soak that up.
I've already checked that out.
Yeah. The soccer, Real Salt Lake, 1-1 with Tigres. They split the points, although in this tournament, then they go straight into penalties. They don't play the extra 30 minutes. And whoever wins penalties picks up another point. Tigres wins on penalties 6-5, so they get 2 points. RSL gets 1. It doesn't eliminate them, but they are right up against it. They got to win the next 2 games, get the full 3 points, and hope 7 gets them through. Last year it was a tiebreaker, and some teams on 7 got through and some didn't. The big news was Gozo did not play, wasn't even on the bench. Gonzo. It's not done yet. He was giving his phone number to somebody who's going over to England. I'll meet with you and catch up next year. He thinks it's a foregone conclusion, but the T's have not been crossed. The I's have not been dotted. The ink is not dried, so.
I feel bad for you guys.
Because?
Because you're losing the guy.
Yeah. It's going to change change everything. How quickly do they spend the money? If they spend it, when do they spend it? Who do they spend it on? One player, more than one player, decisions to be made. Whatever conversations they've had about that privately, they have not revealed publicly. That will be the next big thing after everyone blows a kiss and Gozo hits the road. Gozo Gonzo.
Kiss?
Blow a kiss and hit the road. Good night, everybody.
Blows a kiss.
Blow a kiss to the crowd and hit the road, Jack. Off to Crystal Palace.
I'm going to go to Cracker Box Palace.
Kids growing up, Jackson Dart. You watched him play high school football at Corner Canyon. Then he went off, had a good college career. Now he's with the Giants, a little dust up in training camp, tossing a football at the helmet of one of his teammates after running for a TD. John Harbaugh, head coach, no-nonsense guy. Criticizing that, had the special teams unit back up 15 yards for the PAT. Said, that would have been a flag for taunting.
Well, we got to set the discipline early for the Giants, man.
Right?
Yes. None of these shenanigans will be tolerated ever again.
Ever again. I do think there's something to setting a tone. They had some talent in place. They underachieved a little bit. They've had another year to grow and add guys. And Harbaugh, worst to first might be too much, but we do see teams go worst to first unexpectedly, and certainly come from worst to a winning record and wild card.
I have a winning record.
Yeah, and the wild card now with 7 teams getting in, if you're not in, you're close to it. And the Seahawks a couple of years ago were left out at 10-7. I mean, it happens.
If you have a winning record for the Giants in Dart's second year and Harbaugh's first year,
the arrow's up and everybody's feeling good.
For sure.
Yeah. And I don't see why they can't make a big jump.
Then I'll be a Giants fan.
Back to your roots, hop on the bandwagon. Scoot over. There's room.
I did have this Giants helmet when I was a kid.
Oh, okay, there's a link.
I can recall. And I used to wear it around the house. There's probably a picture of me somewhere of me
Like
with a Giants
7-year-old
helmet.
you?
Yeah. I remember having a little Giants helmet that I would put on during football season.
All right, DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Your feedback's coming up next. Stay with us. DJ and PK, it's time for your feedback. BYU 15, Utah 21, ranked in the coaches poll. Too high, too low, just about right. What do you think? Vic says it all depends on which echo chamber you listen to. Vic at One True Aggie. Sitting on the sideline watching the Utes and Cougars.
I think this porridge tastes just right.
Thanks, Goldilocks.
And I don't think it's by far the most important thing, but it does have a level of meaning to be established. And then you keep getting your benefit of doubt and you build on it. And that helps. Everything helps. And you want it all pointing in the right direction. So it's good for both schools to be in there. Certainly better than not.
The reason it matters more than ever is, as you pointed out earlier in the show, you're out there recruiting all the time. Now the coaches who complain about they're tampering during the season. Okay, so you're recruiting transfers, so you want that to be rolling whenever you're talking to them or third parties are talking to them. Some high school coach or whoever or parent who's inquiring and leading the way on it. You want them to be excited because your team is ranked high, and your fundraisers are out raising NIL money. Your fundraisers have always been out raising money for scholarships and for facilities, and now they're out raising for NIL too. Anything that generates conversation, enthusiasm, take it, embrace it, and run with it because you're selling 365 days a year.
Oh, yeah, I just see a commercial that was posted on Twitter, and it is Jones Ford, which is a Ford dealership in the Valley of the Sun, and the potential starting quarterback and a potential star receiver, Cutter Boley and Omarion Miller. They're driving these Fords. That's what it's about these days.
Got to cut the deals.
Right.
Chewbacca says the AP and coaches polls are archaic hokum and should be done away with forever, preseason especially. In a related story, the college football playoff rankings should start being released earlier in the season.
Preseason playoff ranking. That would be something.
It would be. This is who we're favoring in our biased universe immediately before we even see you play a game.
Yeah, that'd be kind of funny.
Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Notre Dame. Number 3, Indiana. Number 4, Oregon.
Yeah.
All right, fine, Georgia, number 5.
We won't get to that point, but that committee thing, yeah, they've created a big television show. Good on them, man.
Yep. And these polls, even though they know we aren't great, and I'll go back at the end of the year and look. And this year, when the poll came out and I saw you post it yesterday, I went and looked like, how good were the preseason rankings last year? What did they do with Indiana and Miami? That wasn't exactly Ohio State versus Texas or Georgia in the national title game. And Miami was 10 in both polls, and Indiana was 19-1 and 20 in the other. I mean, these are at best ballpark. It's based heavily on who's coming back and what they've done. And there's always unknowns with new coordinators, which Utah has on offense and BYU has on defense. New head coaches, which Utah has. New quarterbacks, which Utah and BYU are ranked in part because they don't have new quarterbacks. They
Utah
have accomplished guys returning.
Also.
Yes, you're right, with Colton Swan.
You just want to be on the radar. You want to be talked about. You want to buzz around your program.
Be in the mix.
Yeah.
Don't be the one everyone's ignoring, pushed over to the side.
And then it's up to you to
win.
Go get it done.
Win, baby. Win and win and win and then win again. All right, we're out of time. The coach, Tim Lacombe, Scotty G, coming up next right here on 97.5, that KSL Sports Zone.